Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
We want this. Slam, slam, slam. Check 50, check 50.
On first down, Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. So from the 36 now, first and 10. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And let's check on the numbers for Jalen Richard last week. 22 carries, 74 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Carr gives to Richard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Here's Carr to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Another try after the first down sack. Carr. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is When they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 16 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
It's complete to Hopkins. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Let's go.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Richard. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
We ain't giving him nothing today. He's coming. We got double up. One, Raider one.
On play action, it's Carr. And that's complete to Adams. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Carr. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
A gain of 6 there on first. Now Carr again. Under pressure, and he'll go down. sacked back at the 31. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running from the gun, Johnson. And some room to roam now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Watson, screenplay, Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass. So 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr. He's got Adams on the hook on. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They give it off here to the tight end, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go.
Three 0 after one on EA Sports.
Down. 180. 53. Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Looking deep for Adams. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And here comes the Texans now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson got his man. It's Eifert. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. The 30, past the 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. That's caught at the 3. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Give to the fullback. This is Watt. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Derek Watt, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On first down, Richard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Throwing on second down, Carr. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on third down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down, Johnson. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. Pressure comes, but it doesn't prevent him from getting off a good one here. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Carr completes it. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
734.
Now a play fake. Carr. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Come on now, let's go.
Still 1st down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. Richard trying the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jalen Richard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The extra point attempt to follow here. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends on the Jalen Richard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Antoine Woods able to record his 5th sack of the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
53 is the mic.
To throw is Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Marshals who are out in front. Keenan Allen, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Chris Carson has a touchdown run. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Patrick Mahomes, terrific in the victory, as his guys move their record to 9-4 on the year. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. On first down, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. And his pass incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Ty Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like that memory was a little too long there.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far.
They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. It's a screen to Richard. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a 1-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon, as he's got a 1st down here. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Max Crosby has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
From the 27, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. It's wearing the tight end with it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. The Texans on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stuff the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first. You need to get the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Check, 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 check.
They'll run on first down. Clinton. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down. Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. On the draw, Richard. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
A 2-yard brings up 3rd and 6. Watch his flat, watch his flat. Watch his flat, watch his flat.
Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Richard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfrow. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfrow. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Hey, watch the slant.
Able to slither by. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, it's Carr. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the... Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Antoine Woods in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is Carr. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow. His 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work. And being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
He finds an opening past the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Off the draw, here's Johnson. Powers through, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st down, Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
We got this.
So Carr and the Raiders now down 20-17. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Just like that.
Now Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr to throw. The open man here, Renfro. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake, and he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Right back to Drake. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he hits Drake. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Let's go, baby.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. James Bradbury there to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
In your face.
And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
26 yards on the play there. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Robert Quinn, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Carr. And he fires one incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now Carr. It's complete to Drake. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively now, the ultimate challenge. Of course, the ball gets in the end zone. This thing's over.
And I remember my coaches always talked about in goal line situations, and now you're in overtime where they have to keep them to 3 points. Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect them to attack on defense and not sit back.
And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Robert Quinn, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Biggest play now in this opening drive of overtime. This is 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Carr. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First throw in OT for Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
The 3rd down run gets them nothing. And here's your ball game. Down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to be incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Raiders, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.